definitely kicking you out now.
For a much better looking person than my beard.
So leave. S.E. Cupp has come into the room.
Well, hi.
And so John, leave.
Okay.
Go back to work.
See you guys.
And and S.E. You're like ready to you're like ready to walk out. But I said,
did I just kick someone out?
Totally
grab a seat.
I'm a terrible person.
This is the Bcast on the Bcast.com, and they're a very cruel audience. And
okay.
They are.
I'm used to that.
They're also. Just to show you, like they're live chatting right now.
Oh, cool!
And we'll be saying many terrible things about us while we do this. But
well, you better watch it.
So I'll keep your eyes averted on this screen from.
Okay, I'll just look at you.
But so the S.E. Cupp show is like what now? Like a month old? Have you gotten in a full 4 weeks
yet? It feels like we've been doing it for years, which I guess is good. But yeah, it's really fresh still, and we're still making changes. Responding to the audience and having fun.
And this is the one that for the Insider Extreme members, Glenn show's on for 3 hours, then Pat and Stu are on for an hour, and then you're on from 1 to 2.
Right.
And and I got to be on there briefly when I was still bearded.
Yeah, bearded.
And great fun. So you can check that out. And is this now you've been on television and radio a lot, and as a writer. Now a month in, you said you had done some guest hosting on radio.
Right.
Is the hosting thing, is it like a different animal?
This is so weird. It's really strange. First of all, I'm a writer, and that's my comfortable medium.
Right.
As much fun as I have doing TV and radio, it's weird.
Give us that
scenario.
For me. Is this like you in a dark room with a glass of scotch? Is that sort of the...
No. And that's what I thought being a writer was going to be, this very romantic, French music playing in the background, and I'm at like an old desk, very Hemingway. No, it's very perfunctory, which is fine. I mean, that's the way I concentrate best. I don't drink, I don't have music or anything on. I sit down and I write. And I love it.
Like a certain time of day, I mean, you just...
Well, I'm more creative in the mornings, but I don't always have the luxury of writing in the morning. Sometimes I have to do it on my lunch break. Sometimes I have to file a story at midnight. I mean, you know how it is. So I love that world. The TV radio stuff is fun, but it's just not it's not what I know.
So now here you are, plopped in front of cameras, and now you're like, it's like,
hey,
and my name is on the show.
Yeah, and it's one more step even removed from that, because it's not like I'm a guest on someone's show, which is generally like a 5-minute hit. This is an hour.
Can you be interesting for more than 5 minutes?
And can I carry it? And can I, I'm doing the interviewing now, and it's a lot of work, but it's also so freeing. I mean, I can literally do whatever I want.
And you're all of a sudden you're like, oh, they're not cutting me off in 2 minutes.
Oh, that's hugely gratifying. That I'm in charge, and I can say, no, I'm not done with my thought yet. Shut your mouth. Which I've never had to do yet, because we invite nice people here. But no, it is.
Who were you interviewing? Nice. You were interviewing somebody
today.
Just pre-taping a segment just a little while ago.
My friend Mickey Rabkin is an editor at GQ, and we have him come in now and then for pop culture stuff.
Okay.
So we were doing a pop culture.
The pop culture stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And you like this variety of being able to do a little politics, little, auto racing, GQ people.
It's nice. I mean, obviously politics is my wheelhouse, so we do a lot of that.
I have a question.
But there's more stuff too.
I hear the word wheelhouse being used a lot. Did you? I mean, not only in this floor, but I've heard it now on other shows. I think I first heard you using it.
Yeah, I use it a lot.
So now. Can we credit you for kicking off the wheelhouse as one?
Well, it's a sports term, so I didn't invent it, but I have. I think you can credit with me from
repopularizing,
bringing it over from crossover. I've made a crossover to other worlds.
I like it.
Wheelhouse, that's in my.
Wheelhouse is in your wheelhouse.
It's in my wheelhouse.
Now you've taken the show on the road. You did CPAC.
Yeah.
So you do, some things are live, some things are pre-taped, some things are in the studio here, some things are on the road. Is that what we're going to see as it evolves?
Yeah, because I do a lot of traveling.
Or should you say, yes, we have this grand plan, or is it we're making it up as we go along?
No, I mean we have a plan, but it's neither grand nor permanent. And I travel a lot. I speak all over the country, and I go to colleges. I want to still be able to do that. So if we have to pre-tape shows or do shows on the road, I think that's even more interesting sometimes. So we're going with my life is my life,
and
the show is going to have to sort of be dictated by the life.
John was running me down some of the stories of the day, and I was going to play some of the clips that we put up. I've been playing them, and this is how we do it on the little BCast show.
Yes.
But before I let you get out of here, which you can tell she wants to, because the trench coat is on.
I was on my way
She's
out.
Ready. She's on her way out.
You know.
We had done a longer story about a week or two ago about a new book by a controversial pastor about whether there really is a hell. Now that would sound like an interesting. Our audience on the Blaze is interested in faith topics.
Yes.
This guy now is on. Rob Bell is his name. He was on Good Morning America yesterday. He was on with Martin Bashir, last night, and them doing long segments. And you have a background in thinking about how religion is covered in this country. Is that largely a good? I mean, is it just because they have this controversy? It's like, here's an evangelical pastor who's not convinced that hell really exists,
right?
But do you think that the mainstream media is more open to talking about sort of topics of faith? Is that, or do you find that or not?
I mean, that sounds, I'm not aware of the story, but to me...
Yeah, I was just springing it on you.
Yeah, but that sounds to me like the media loves the sort of man bites dog religion story. They rarely tell the dog bites man religion story about the normal religious community. Faith stories. They really go for the weird, the hypocritical, the dangerous. I mean, that's what they do. So finding a guy who's an evangelical pastor who's saying, they love that. They don't do representative, and they just don't deal with religion stories well. Period, full stop. And the last book I wrote, Losing Our Religion, deals entirely with the mismanagement of those kinds of stories.
And she got the book plug right
I'm
in
a pro, dude. I am a pro. I will find a way to work that in no matter what we're talking about.
When you go to these campuses, what are you seeing any shifts in what people want to talk about? I mean, I'm sure you have things that you talk about. You get to Q&A and stuff like that. Where are the questions coming from?
Yeah, I got to tell you, I've been going to colleges for a while now, and usually, 2 or 3 years ago, the questions were big think questions. Questions about, okay, how can conservatives win the pop culture debate, or how can conservatives, now I got to tell you, younger people have economy issues coming to mind at younger ages. Because they realize, I think, that the mistakes we're making now are very quickly going to affect them. When they get into the workforce, whether it's they're not going to be able to get jobs, paying taxes, bankrupting their kids. I mean, I think they're acutely aware now of financial issues in a way that they weren't 2 and 3 years ago. This just was not a pressing concern for college kids.
Do you think that back when I was a campus activist in the in the early '80s, and it was a time when we had a tremendous amount of conservative thought and on campus, and it credentialed kind of a generation of conservative leaders, thinkers, writers, influenced by that sort of Reagan era of and even sort of it was Reagan, it was Kemp on empowerment zones, it was a lot of those things were coming together. And then it became very weird to me in successive decades to think when people were like, you can never get college kids to be conservative. And I was like, no, we did. It wasn't even that hard. Do you see this as like an opportunity that these issues are out there, and that if we're properly articulating back to this generation of young people, that you might actually get people who make some sort of political and philosophical decisions early in their lives that might really be good for them, good for the country? I
think, and that's what I'm finding when I go. I mean, I think it's very heartening to find that younger people are finally paying attention to fiscal conservatism and what this can mean for their daily lives. More so than they're paying attention to, the pop culture sort of cool factor that liberalism tries to deliver on college campuses. That's heartening. That's good news. And I think I've always wanted to sell conservatism to younger people on its merits. Not try and dress it up and make it sound cool or sexy. It shouldn't be. It should just work. And I think now, with all of this economic upheaval, it's the perfect time to prove that conservative policies just work better. Yeah.
Okay, so you probably have an idea of what working at Mercury would be like. What's the worst thing? What's the craziest thing about working there?
I mean, nothing's bad. Nothing. No bad news.
It's just us.
It's been really great. I mean, I have so much creative freedom here. I mean, no one tells me what to do. Literally.
Right. Do you think does that surprise friends or liberals that you know that they're really like, oh, Glenn doesn't mind if you say something that he disagrees with, or
yeah, I don't even know if Glenn is aware of what I'm saying on a regular basis, which is fine. But I mean, when I'll go on his radio show, we'll disagree. Right. We have disagreements on the air. That's fun. I think he probably enjoys that as much as I do. Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. Like no requirements, no preconditions. Nothing is off the table. It's so freeing.
It's like, go do your thing.
It's great.
Cool.
No complaints.
Thanks for wandering by. I don't want to hold you. I know it's in the
fun.
S.E. Cup life.
It's always go.
It's go. Right, exactly.
There is never a free minute.
Cool. All right.
But great to be here. Thanks, everyone.
Indeed.